What's up, family? It's your boy. I wanted to talk to y'all about the frequency scale today, okay? And what meditation does and how meditation affects you on the frequency scale. Like in the Facebook Live we had, I was talking about thoughts and beliefs and how those thoughts and beliefs affect, your frequency and your ability to function right up in this scale because we all want to function up in this area. And if you can't see it, we have grief and regret down here, and we have enlightenment all the way at the top. We have gratitude underneath enlightenment, peace and bliss, joy. Some scales don't include gratitude, but if you do research on gratitude now, the updated scales have gratitude up as high as a 900 frequency, which is right under enlightenment, higher than peace and bliss, joy, and love. So go ahead, check that out online. You'll see new studies have gratitude right underneath enlightenment. So, a lot with what we talk about, this is how frequency works, right? And we come into this life and we have this, we've gone through some things. You may have some grief and regret, fear, anxiety. Some of that turns into anger. And this is a lot how it works. We may be down here, we may be feeling fearful and anxious, and it just kind of bounces up and down. If this reminds you of anything, this should remind you of the stock market if you're familiar with stocks. It's just like stocks. It's dropping, maybe it's down here, and then you have these shoot ups here, and it may be up here for a minute, and it drops, and then it comes back up. And so what meditation gets you to that place to where you can quiet your mind. Okay, that peace, right? Stillness, bliss. That's going to roll in this area. So anytime you can meditate and find that stillness, you're immediately going to raise your vibration so that you're vibrating on this level, right? And what's going to happen, what's normal is you're going to meditate, and the better you get at meditating, your vibration will rise up here. You'll go into some gratitude statements. You can wake up. I always like to wake up, and while I'm still in that meditative state, just waking up, that's here. You wake up and you're feeling good and fresh. Before you let the mind take over, you'll be up in this area, right? And if you get into gratitude first thing in the morning, you're setting a tone for your day. All right. So meditation is going to get you here, right? And then we go through the day, and then thoughts pop in our head. We run into situations with other people, and whoop, right back down we go, right? And you're like, oh shit, here I go again. And then you may be angry at yourself. You may be angry at somebody else that said something to you they don't like, or somebody owes you money and they didn't pay you, right? So now you're angry. All right, so boom, then you hop up. You're like, oh man, I'm angry. Here, let me meditate a little bit. Now you can get to this neutral place for meditation too after all this stuff is going on, right? Just a place of 5 minute stillness, 10 minute stillness where you get the mind quiet and you're neutral, okay? You're not feeling angry anymore. You're not feeling anxiety anymore, but you're also not at this place of peace and bliss and enlightenment that we all want to live in, right? So you start bouncing around this frequency scale. And as you can see, as I drew over here, the more you practice this meditation, right, the more you start to focus on these thoughts that you're having, these thought patterns, slowing the mind, staying conscious, the more you'll notice the scale climbs, right? And then it doesn't dip as much as what it was over here. See, most of us are living in here. Most of us are living in this area. We're willing, we want to come out of it. Sometimes we're in this neutral place. There's times we feel courageous, right? But then pride gets in the way. Sometimes we have anger. We'll feel a desire, which is good, because once you come out of regret and fear, you're feeling anxiety, you start to feel a desire for something more. That's a raise in the scale, right? So you may get one of them shoot ups, boom. But most of us live somewhere in this area, right? But what is our goal? Our goal is to get to this acceptance, this state of love. And we'll feel love, we'll feel acceptance, and at times we'll feel joy, right? And we know these feelings, but we want to maintain these as much as we can. And guys, that all comes with quieting the mind, meditating. Some people can go out and run. You can go out and run, right? Anything to quiet your mind. But meditation, it's been taught for the beginning of time, probably. But as far back as we have religious documents, teachers, they talk about meditation or prayer, right? So what's going to happen is the more we start to become conscious that, okay, this is where I'm at right now. Okay, let me get into a meditative state. Let me quiet my mind, right? The more your vibration starts to raise. This whole notion that you're on this love and it's just like this all the time, that's a lie. You know, you ain't nobody ever on this vibration all the time. We're human, right? We're having a human experience. We have emotions, you know, that are constantly guiding us. If you're somewhere all the time, you're not growing. You're not growing. And nobody's going to be on the same frequency all the time, every minute of every day. It's going to be like a stock market. It's going to be jumping. It's going to be bouncing. The goal is to pull this bottom area up, right? So we want to, how do we pull this bottom area up to where we're maintaining these higher frequencies with less time in this bottom area? That answer is through meditation. Meditation. Meditation is the start, right? Because meditation is going to get us into this place. Meditation is going to bring in inspired ideas. It's going to effectively quiet the mind down so that then we can begin to do gratitude affirmations. I am affirmations. I am. Right? Then we can start looking at, okay, from this place, okay, why did this occur in the first place, right? And then we can start to be honest with ourselves in the right manner. Because when you're down here and you're trying to correct this yourself with thought, you're really adding resistance to it, and you're not going to handle it in the most appropriate way, right? You're going to be hard on yourself. You're probably going to get irritated with yourself, really making this situation worse. But if we can get up in here through meditation and start to balance this out, you're going to start to talk to yourself in a different way as well, right? Because now you're doing it from a place of joy, a place of love, a place of acceptance where you're accepting yourself, you're loving yourself, you feel good about yourself, right? So you're going to speak to yourself differently. Speaking to yourself in a loving manner is really hard when you're caught up in fear, anxiety, regret, anger, and pride, right? It's just really hard to do. This is why, guys, I talk so much about meditation and what meditation has done for my life. Because the more we practice this, just like the scale does, right? The less time we're going to spend down in this area, the more time we can spend up in here. And the more time we can spend up in here, the more we're going to attract everything that we really want into our life, which is all about a feeling anyways. Why do we want a new car? To feel secure. You can say, yeah, I want to go to work, but you want to feel good about your car too, right? Why do you want a nice house? So you can feel security, right? So you know you have a roof over your head. So when it snowstorms out, you know, you feel secure. You have a place to go for peace, right? It's really all attached to a feeling. And meditating will bring us into that feeling every time. All right, guys, you got any questions? Let me know. It's your boy. Peace.